Hi, Stephen here from Sound of a Nation Wave, and this is day 22 of the October daily draws. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Ghost Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle. So let's use our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. So we have the Queen of Wands, and I think we've had her before, but she comes back to remind us that we always need to be keeping our motivation and our passion for what we're doing, burning. We need to keep the fire burning. We need to keep fanning the flame of our motivation and our passion for our strength of will through trying to foster an enjoyment of our purpose, of what we're doing. Because if we are following our passion, if it's something that we care about, we have to care about what we're doing. Because in tough times, that's what keeps the motivation to keep going. When it hits snags and challenges, and which can crop up from time to time, in whatever we're doing, even when we're on the right track, doing the right thing, there are things that come unexpectedly, along the way that we have to deal with. And sometimes it makes things a little bit harder than what we'd hoped for, but it's not something we can't get, perhaps, more than likely, but it's going to take a lot of effort, and it may slow us down a bit, and it may, we need to persevere and need to be patient a bit to get past that point. And sometimes, that it saps away some of the motivation, because the temptation is in the face of the challenge to just give up. And we will succumb to that if we're doing something we don't really care for that much anyway. Because our heart won't be fully in it from the start, even before we meet those challenges. And then when the little obstacles or snags, whatever it is that comes along, then it's so easy for us to give up, because we weren't fully in it from the start. So it doesn't take much to drain that motivation, because there wasn't much of it there in the first place. Maybe a bit of a novelty factor enabled us to set off on that journey. Maybe a little initial enthusiasm that we managed to summon up because it was something fresh, but if it wasn't felt, at the heart level, at the core of our being, that when we hit little snags and difficulties and challenges, that isn't sufficient in order to sustain our motivation for continuing, and we can give up on those things. So we have to make sure that we're doing something that we really care about. That's what the Queen of Wands would say, that it's a genuine passion and not something that we've summoned up because it's something, as I say, novel to us that we think we might get to like doing, or it's and there's nothing wrong with trying new things. That's different. That's a different matter. But if it's something that we're really putting our efforts into, it's got to be something that we do really care about. And if we're just doing it because it's what we feel that we're expected to do this, so we're sort of trying to summon up some kind of enthusiasm, but it's not really, rooted in the core of our being, like a really good, strong sense of purpose should be, then we're so easily going to give up or we're not going to try as hard because we don't really care about the outcome as much as we ought to. Um, so we need to pick something. We need to focus on something that is, that we do enjoy, not that it's going to be, fun and exciting and all the time. As I say, we will meet challenges and it will become hard work at times and it will become hard to persevere. But if the outcome that we're seeking is something that really matters to us, then we're going to be willing to go through anything and put whatever effort we need to in order to accomplish it. So that gives us the incentive. It gives us extra motivation when we need it through the difficult times to get to the end result, to get to the goal that we're after, because it's so important to us. So we have to really focus on what's important to us, genuinely and authentically important to us. We have to know that this means that much to us, that we will go to any lengths to get it done. We will persevere for any difficulties and problems because it's something that we really want to achieve and to have in our lives, that we will continue to work away no matter what. And that helps our motivation. Now, another thing that will help our motivation is that although things can't be fun and exciting all the time, maybe there are ways that we can bring a little fun into the work, into what we're trying to do. So, to lighten the mood, lighten the load a little when it does get heavy. We take it seriously, but we can bring some elements of fun into it at various times, just to keep that motivation and that passion burning away to see us through to the end. And that's what the Queen of Wands would have us do. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Silence. Sometimes we need to sit and reflect in silence. So often we get the world, other people, telling us what we think we ought to do. We get different voices in our head, and some of our own voices, in our head, our own thoughts can interfere with that. Sometimes we need to try and get some sense of silence, some stillness, so that we can listen to that still small voice within our, the heart of our being, that is our true compass point and will actually guide us towards the things that we really care about. We become more aware. There are things that may be on the surface we think we care about and we really want to achieve, but we need to listen deeper than that. We need to get that heartfelt passion for something that we really feel deep within that we want. What is it that we want at the deepest level? What is it that we want to bring into our lives? Because that is the thing that's going to be the thing that we are going to be really passionate about and care about doing. And that's what we need to do. And sometimes we need maybe to take a little bit of silent reflection to check in with ourselves, that do we really care about the things that we're doing in our lives at the moment? Or is there something else that we care about more that we could be doing and be more motivated? And that's the question the cards are asking us to ask ourselves today. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 23. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.